Hello there, everyone. I'm here now with Pete Butland, and Pete has just completed the 12-week program. So, Pete, it's good that you're here. Thank you for agreeing to do this interview and letting everyone know what it is you've accomplished and how far you've come over the last 12 weeks. But let's start with, why did you decide to do the program? What was behind you?
So I've struggled with my weight for over 20 years. I did my first slimming club when I was over 20 years ago, and have done so many different things in the meantime, different slimming clubs, different extreme diets, different shake sort of approaches and regimes, which I've stuck to for a couple of months at a time, lost maybe a couple of stone, and then stopped, put it back on again with a bit more, and that's just been a pattern over the last 20 years of sort of losing a bit, putting more on, losing a bit, putting more on, and never actually feeling like I had any control over my health really, and it's led to lots of different health problems as a result of that, and it was time really to look at a new approach.
And were you skeptical about doing this? Did you think it was just going to be another one of those things to fail at?
Yeah, because I think over the course of when you fail so often, you assume that you're going to fail, and so you get used to the idea of well, this probably won't work, but I'll try this like I've tried all the other things. So yeah, I wasn't holding out a huge amount of hope, if I'm honest.
It started well. The first few weeks went quite well. What was working for you at the beginning?
So I think one of the first things was that this wasn't, I didn't walk in and then you said, right, here's a list of food you can eat, can't eat, and these are the things you must do in order to fix yourself. It was the thing that struck me very early on was that actually this was not about fixing behaviour, because if you just focus on behaviour, then that soon runs out of steam, and most people can change their behaviour for a period of time, but it doesn't last. And actually, this for me was more about identity. This is about who I am rather than what I do.
You did have a bit of a blip in the middle, and maybe got to that point where you were thinking, okay, this is just another one of those opportunities for me to fail. What carried you through?
Yeah, it was a wall that I've encountered several times before, and which is normally the point at which I turn back and go back to eating and drinking whatever I wanted to and putting the weight back on and so on. And I think the difference this time was that it was about recognising this is not about what I'm doing, this is about who I am, and actually coming back to that idea of becoming the person that I want to be, and which is not a brand new person, it's not a completely different person, it's a refined and better version of the core essence of myself, and in doing that brought me back to mind, okay, this is who I am, and because of who I am, this is what I do. And that I was able to then get over the wall and kind of, I think I said probably a couple of weeks after that, so I felt like I'm sitting on top of the wall now, I've got up there and I've scaled it, and now it's just a case of carrying on and moving forward from there, and which is what's happened.
Very good. In the past, when you've messed up, you've failed on your diet, whatever it was, you've beaten yourself up over that.
Yeah.
And were really hard on yourself.
Yeah.
What was the difference between messing up in the past and when you had your week or two blip in the middle of this? What was the difference?
I think recognising, actually, rather than thinking what I've got wrong and what I haven't done, recognising what I had achieved and what I had actually managed to get through, and so celebrating the progress I'd made rather than being annoyed about and frustrated about the progress I hadn't made yet. So I think that was probably the main thing. And the other thing was, I'd always been someone who food was a comfort and a reward, and so if I was frustrated with myself for anything, if I'd gone wrong, then I would basically self-sabotage by overeating as a result, and these are all things that have changed because of that's not who I am anymore, and therefore that's not what I do.
Can you tell me a few of your goals that you set? What were a few of the things that you wanted to accomplish for this?
So I wanted to have more energy to be more confident. I was always aware that my weight affected my confidence and just the way I physically moved around the place and interacted with people. I often felt very self-conscious, and so I wanted to have more confidence. I wanted to be happier and healthier, and probably a key outcome for me was that I knew that from all of that stuff, that would make me a better husband and a better father. So to have more energy, to be more interested in my wife and my kids, and listen to them more and spend more time with them, and enjoy family life more. So I suppose in that sense, it wasn't about my goal is to lose an X amount of pounds or kilograms. It was about actually who do I want to become, and yeah, so that's where I was going.
When you started the program 12 weeks ago, did you know that was going to be the case? Or did you think, well, I'm going to try this to lose some weight again?
I think probably the focus, when I first started, it was to lose weight. And I think I always assumed that if I was thinner, then I would feel better about myself, and therefore I would be a happier person and feel more confident and so on. And so it was kind of losing the weight would be the thing that would cause me to feel all of these things. But what's been different here is that I was focusing first and foremost on who am I and who do I want to become, and weight does have a role to play in that, and my health and fitness has a role to play in that, but they're not the primary purpose of doing the program in the end.
12 weeks on, do you feel like you've accomplished any of your goals?
Lots of goals, or if not, I haven't got to the end point in a sense, but actually that's not what it's about. What I've done is make huge progress in lots of areas, so I am happier, I am healthier, I have lost some weight that's kind of been the byproduct rather than the focus. Actually, because what I've seen is I'm more confident as I walk into a room, I'm more ready to engage with people, perhaps where previously I'd have been a bit less willing to put myself forward. A lot more relaxed at home, I think, and more switched on and engaged, I think. Again, you'd have to confirm that with the family. But I certainly feel like I'm more switched on and engaged and involved, and less likely to withdraw and retreat into my shell. So massive progress in all those different areas. Happier, healthier, a better dad, a better husband, more confident, more secure in myself. Yeah.
If there was one thing that you could say to anyone watching this interview that you're going to take away that you think anyone could learn from and grow from, what would it be?
I'm not exaggerating when I say this has been life-changing for me. I feel like probably what may well be a sort of midway point in my life, but the second half of life has got a lot more hope and promise than I ever imagined it would have, and that's because this has been about identity, and for me it's been becoming more secure in who I am and who I'm trying to be, and actually making massive steps towards that. And so yeah, that becoming more secure in who I am, and that phrase, a better version of myself, yes, but it hasn't been kind of cheesy. It's been really empowering and powerful for me, and taking me it's been transformational in every sense.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. This is your first experience with coaching. Would you recommend Live or Exist to other people?
Without even thinking about it, yeah. And what you need to know, Buddy is compassionate, he's thoughtful, he's considerate, he's interested, he understands, and he is really perceptive and will encourage you, not bullies in any way, but kind of will ask the questions that need to be asked and cause you to think about it, reflect on it, and you to make the changes and allow that transformation to happen. It's been a fantastic experience, and I would highly recommend Buddy and Live or Exist.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Please do contact me if you are interested at all. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.